Boom. So Bun B denying his family members money. We gonna react to it. Let's get it. Put a like on the vid.
Crazy because like I don't tell people no anymore. I just don't pick up the phone because I feel like
No, no, no. You
it's an
gotta tell them
art.
no.
You think so?
You gotta tell them no. You have to tell people no. You have to get over the idea of people not being
I
happy
used to
with your
do
life.
that, and then I'm the bad guy, so
You
I'm
have to
like,
be
I guess I am.
be the bad guy, Aristotle.
I
Be the
guess I
bad
gotta
guy
keep being the bad guy.
because you are never. I don't care how many favors you do for people. You will never please these people.
Yeah, you won't.
You will never please these people. So just go. We're going to end up with a no and a bad attitude at some point. Why not today? Let's get this shit over with. No.
You right though.
Let's get this shit over with. And if you don't like me from here on out, at least I know. But I'm not going to sit around and wait till July. Fuck, should I tell him no? I don't want to hear his mouth. No, at some point we're going to be there. Just get this shit over with. My nigga. Nope.
I expected this to be worse. I expected this to be way worse because I was going to compare this to the Jay-Z, Kevin Hart. Oh, my cousin want 4,200 from me. You know, not even 5,000. He wants 4,000 and such dollars from me for a business idea, and I tell him that don't work. I went in on that probably a year ago or some months ago, however long it's been. But I was expecting something in the ballpark of that. This is a general principle I agree with and believe in. Because when it comes down to it, even when me and my friends went through the Jay-Z situation, the whole thing that they were saying, well, what if it fails? And what if he keeps asking for more? And da 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 da. My whole point with the Jay-Z thing is, first off, if you were Jay-Z, you were a multi-billionaire, not just a billionaire. You don't have 1 billion, you have 2 billion or more. Now, as far as these people, they don't owe anybody shit. They don't owe their family members anything. But if you are vibing with your family or whatever, if you got this family member, whatever, and you love him and you respect him and all of that stuff, and he says he has a business idea and he needs 4,200 to get it going and stuff like that, that is literally nothing. I did the math in the video that I did that all of y'all disagreed with because y'all hove dick riders and stuff like that. It is less than $1 worth to a guy that makes, 50,000 in comparison. So it's like you wouldn't lend, your family member $1. That is equivalent to doing that. Now, at the same time, if they begin to ask too much for the money, then yeah, you gotta have a conversation with them. You gotta tell them no, all of that stuff. But this is the thing. I didn't respect that because of all of the things that I just mentioned. This is more respectable because you are just flat out saying no. You're not saying it don't work like that. You're not saying, and even then, an amount was not mentioned. And also, Bun B is not in the same position Hove is. Whatever position he's in is a position he's in, but it's definitely nowhere near what Hove got going on with that 2 billion. I'll tell you this as well. Nobody is doing a home invasion on Jay-Z. It's not happening. It's no way that's gonna happen. It would have to be some Ocean's 11 level heist type shit with a multitude of players and one of the secure. There's got to be an inside man. It's got to be something like that for somebody to try and do a home invasion on Jay-Z. Especially if you've heard how big his house is. I forget who talked about how big his house was and being on a golf cart and all that stuff. But listen, Bun B, he had that situation recently and had to testify, about how that traumatized his wife and put the guy in jail and stuff like that. So if he's in a position to where that can happen, he is not buku rich. So when we look at that, again, the reason I respect it is because he flat out is just saying no. There was no money amount mentioned. And when we look at it, I would respect Jay-Z if he just said no. And I said this, I'm pretty sure I said this in the video. I would respect him if he just said no because I don't want to get into the habit of lending you money, or no, I'm just not interested in giving my money to. I don't want to hear no, it don't work like that. And even then, the whole thing about the whole thing was like, okay, he's coming to you with a business idea for just such a small amount of money. The thing that really bothers me about the whole shit is a specific situation. But when I talked to my friends, they said they would at least sit down and try to filter out the business idea at best if it was something, worthwhile, if it was something worth investing in, because they would want some of the company. I agree with that. That's cool, even though we talking about some lower level stuff. And the ironic thing is Jay-Z did have a cousin who has a restaurant, and like his mom and sister invested in it, and I think Jay-Z himself invested in it as well. So it's very ironic when we talk about that situation and his cousins and stuff like that. But just let's cut the Jay-Z shit all the way off. When it comes to Bun B saying this, I think this is a universal principle that even if you just get past money and you just get to favors, or if you just get to somebody just asking you for anything that you were trying to push off, like let's say you're a rapper and somebody wants to collab and you don't want to collab with them, just get that no out the way, man. Get that no out the way. It don't matter how they feel. And when it comes to people pleasing, that's something you should not aim to do at your own expense. We could get into stoic principles and all that stuff, but we're not going to do that on this channel, especially not today, because we're going to do a short video. But at the end of the day, you have to look out for you first. And if this is something you don't want to do, that you don't have any interest in, or you think it'll be a detriment to you, just say no. What I love about what he said is you're going to say no. You're going to have a pissed off person. You're going to have to say no at some point eventually anyway. Just get that pissed off person out the way. Just get the pissed offness that you're going to have to deal with out the way, and then keep it moving. And listen, a couple things. Somebody said a sentence. They said this recently, a good quote. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. If you want to try and soften a blow, I'm used to doing customer service and stuff like that. I've done that for a long time at a high level. So it's like I know how to break the no off softly and stuff like that. I know how to fluff it up a little bit. But even then, I'm a very blunt person and I'm very stern about certain stuff. So sometimes I will just say a flat out no in my personal life and just leave it there. No explanation. But the other thing is that, the second thing is that you don't have to explain why. You don't have to explain why. They are in their feelings because they can't get what they want out of you. You don't want to give it. You don't have to give a reason why you don't want to give it, because it's yours to give. They could feel however they want to feel. If you want to give an explanation in that moment, you can. If you don't want to, you could say, I'd rather not explain, or whatever you're going to say. If you want to think about it, just tell them, really, I don't know exactly why, but I just didn't feel like this is something I want to do. That's all I can tell you. This is not something I want to do. This is not something I want to give. And I really don't feel like explaining why. And then if you come up with a reason later, as far as you reflecting on it, if you care that much, then give them the reason later. But that's it for today, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out.